Hello and welcome to Saving Circle, where we help millennial professionals feel confident about managing their money. I'm your host, Vineet Prasad, the founder of Savings Academy. On today's episode, with 2021 right around the corner, I know a lot of people will have goals coming into the new year related to getting on track financially. So I wanted to share one of my favorite tips that I use myself and that I use with clients around getting on track towards those goals and generally feeling like you're in control of your finances. So that tip is money dates. So in terms of what money dates are, it's just very simply a commitment to regularly checking in on your finances, putting it on your calendar, and a certain set of activities that goes along with that and a certain mindset that goes along with that. And I believe just the act of deciding when you're going to do your money dates, deciding what will be done in them, and deciding how to approach them will really help you with any financial goal you have for 2021. I think it will be a great starting point, and I've seen it work really well for myself and for others. So let's jump in with what is a money date. But beforehand, I just want to mention this is not just for couples. This works really well for couples, but it's also something if you're single or you're managing your finances by yourself, that it could work great for you as well. It's just, again, taking the same approach as I'm going to describe here and using the same mindset. So let's dive in. So the first thing, what a money date is fundamentally is, like I said, taking time for your finances. And specifically, when we talk about the content of a money date, the fundamental thing is you want to be checking in, first of all, on your goals. And when I say financial goals, I mean, so for what's worked well for me and clients I work with is to actually have those goals listed out, to have them prioritized, so actually to put them in order, and to have a target date for when you want those goals to be achieved. And this sounds, again, very simple, but the vast majority of us don't have financial goals listed and certainly don't have them prioritized. And I really like using a spreadsheet for this. That's how I manage my finances in general. If you don't like spreadsheets, you can just use a document or wherever else you do any other goal setting. If you are doing this with a partner, that's where you're going to realize more times than not that there's not complete alignment in terms of what you're seeking. And that is a really good place to start. I'm just getting on the same page about what are your goals, by when, and what are the priority? What do you want to save up for first, second, third? It is really important. So from there, I would say each money date, you want to start by checking in on that because that's what drives this, and just see what's changed in regards to our goals. From there, you want to check in on how your finances have been going since the last time. So you want to look at either if you have a spending plan in place, which I recommend to the vast majority of people, having some kind of spending tracking system or spending plan in place. And I've covered what I recommend for that in other videos. So checking in on that, seeing how that went for the month. And I do recommend a monthly cadence for the money dates. Or if you are not using a spending tracking system, checking in on your assets and debt and seeing just how your account balances have changed. If you're someone who is saving regularly already, maybe you don't need to do spending tracking. If you're already saving a lot of money regularly, maybe you just need to look at your account balances, and you can even figure out based on like your typical savings rate, like how much should your account balances be the coming month, and kind of gamify it a little bit and see where you were versus where you expected. But for most people, I recommend doing the whole spending tracking, spending planning thing. It's easier than you think. Just got to get in that habit. And then now we get into the kind of the approach or just the mindset around it. So fundamentally, you're going to be looking at what you spent or where your account balances are versus what you planned. And it's just understanding, okay, how are we doing in relation to our goals? But the mindset is the key thing here. What I've seen not work well and really derail this is if couples especially, or even individuals, are unkind to each other or unkind to themselves when approaching this. Know that the vast majority of people feel really crappy about their finances. They feel like they're not doing well or like their partner isn't doing well. And if you take that approach, very critical of each other or yourself, you're not going to want to come back to this. So I just say commit to approaching this with kindness. The second thing I would recommend is try to make it quick. Try to make it less than 30 minutes and schedule that, and know that if you don't get to everything, that's okay. At the beginning, things may take you a little bit longer, but still try to orient on speed because we're all busy people, and you want to make this something that you can do consistently and is on the calendar, and you only spend the amount of time on the calendar on this thing. And if you have some action items that you realize need to be done before the next time, just have one person volunteer to do them, but end the money date on time, end it positively, have fun with it. And that approach, regardless of what your financial goal is, I think will be really helpful to get you on track and start you off right for 2021. So if you're listening to this yourself or with your partner, I'd highly recommend you try to schedule when your first money date will be in January, when you can look back at December and look at your goals. That's all for today. Thank you for checking out today's episode. And for more personal finance tips, you can always check out my website, savingsacademy.com. If you found today's episode useful, I would greatly appreciate you leaving me a rating or review so more people can learn about the show. And until next time, keep saving, my friends. Keep saving.